Hello everyone, welcome. I'm just gonna adjust my lighting here. Whoa, that's bright. Oh my goodness, focus. Hey everyone, welcome back. It feels like forever since I've seen you guys, and I think that's because I basically just had a super crazy month of October. October is always my busiest month as a psychic. If you haven't seen that vlog, you can basically see why. But that was last week's vlog. But I'm jumping on tonight, not for too long. I do have some very important announcements, but I'm not going to be reading for too long tonight, purely because I am very tired. And if you guys have been in my last, I don't know if it was my last live, but basically I had like this huge like water leak in my home. Finally got it all fixed, patched up. It was in my son's room. So my son has been sleeping in my bedroom with us this whole entire time. So we've basically gotten like no sleep the last like 3 weeks. And he finally got moved into his room tonight because we got it all cleaned, painted, fixed up. But I still have a ton of things that I need to move around before I can even go to bed. So, today has been a long day. Hey, Lori, welcome. Awesome. So, catch me next time. One of the big announcements that I have for you guys is that I finally have a schedule. I don't know why I didn't have a schedule before. It took me like 2 seconds to make on my website, but it's going to be linked down in a single live video. I think now I have a little thing that says like next live reading night. And it basically takes you to a page on my website that's called events. And if there's local events that I'm doing, you know, that's usually where I put those. But I also have live reading nights. But I actually listed out all of the event days. So I'm just going to copy and paste this and put it in the chat. Hey, Jamie, welcome. So yeah, and part of the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm trying to actually step back a little bit from doing so many lives. It can be very draining, and I will say it's definitely not my best mode as a reader. And so they've been very draining for me, and I'm not doing the best that I could be at them. So instead of doing them every week, I'm just going to be doing them like twice a month is kind of what I've decided. So you should be able to see those on the event page for going forward. So then you don't have to try to guess or even watch the last live to figure out when the heck I'm going to be on next. So just know it's always on my website if you're ever confused. If you ever like, I share my link tree everywhere, and my link tree also has like an events thing. Hey everyone, welcome. And so before I get into our message for everyone tonight, and kind of, I'm only going to be doing a handful of individual readings. I want to do two last announcements. The big one is for membership. People, do you still do classes? It's funny that you brought that up. So Heidi, the class that I did, it's so serendipitous that you brought this up because it's a segue into my next point. Hey, Michael. Hey, Lucy. So my classes, I used to kind of do like a group Zoom call. That was like $5, and people could come and join and do psychic development practice. The thing is I just don't have enough followers yet to be able to fill like a full class. And so I had to stop doing them because I was basically putting in all this time and effort, and it wasn't like paying me very well, if that makes sense. This is very bright. And it's more just, you know, as a mom, as a person who's still not working as a psychic full-time, I'm kind of having to balance like how much time and effort do I put into something and how much is it giving me back. And so those classes, I was basically putting in a couple hours of work every week, maybe like 2 or 3 hours. And then I was maybe only getting like $10 for it. So it's just it wasn't beneficial. And so my hope was that I could do that with the memberships, and the memberships, we have the same amount, $5 for the membership night, which is the last Tuesday of the month. But I hate to say it because I think definitely some of you guys are going to be bummed, but I'm going to be pulling back on some of my memberships. I'm going to be taking away $5 and the $10 tier starting December 1st. So if you guys are still in that tier, you're still going to get all the perks for this month. But after December, I'm going to just cut it down to the 99-cent tier. And that's purely just if you want to support me because you feel like it. And membership people, I will talk more about this with you guys on our actual membership night, which will be November 30th. But the issue that I'm having is basically the exact same, where I'm putting in a ton of time into these live nights and only like 2 people are showing up, which I'm super appreciative, obviously super grateful for those of you who are. It's just, again, like a problem of me not having enough followers yet to really make it worthwhile. So I'm going to reintroduce them. Like, they're not going away forever. They will be back, but I just need to get a few more followers so that it like makes my time worthwhile. So I hope you guys aren't upset. I was really nervous about saying it. I really don't want to take it away because I enjoy doing it, but I'm kind of having to, again, look at my time and be super efficient with it. And same goes with my my member only video tier. It's at a point where I've had like one person in that tier and I'm making a whole entire video basically for one person. And I just need it to be a little bit more, I need the membership base to be a little bit bigger to make it worthwhile. So it is going to come back. I will probably reintroduce it when there are some more followers that I have. So then it's, worthwhile and I'm making it, and it makes sense because we have several people that are going to watch it, and therefore it's equivalent to like the time that I'm putting in. So I hope that makes sense. I am, again, doing this just to kind of not be such a workaholic. I've been bad about that lately. Definitely hit some big burnout this last month, and I just want to be a better reader for you guys and make the best videos that I can for you. So again, memberships will come back. The 99-cent level will always be there. But the $5 and the $10 one, I'm going to just put on pause for now. But again, it will fulfill for the rest of the month. So there will still be one more member-only video. There will be one more member-only live night. So if you guys have any questions about it, feel free to reach out. It was a very hard decision to do that. But just know that it's coming back. It's more that I need my fan base to be a little bit bigger for it to make sense. Alrighty, so that is my membership announcement. Again, I'll talk about it more on our member-only live night, which will be the 30th. And then other than that, guys, I know that October was kind of just like random mishmash of like whatever I wanted to create for October, but just know that going into November and December, we're going to jump back heavy into instructional videos. So we're going to do all sorts of instructional videos. Get ready, get your notebooks out because I've got a ton of content that I really want to dive into, because I know I haven't had very many instructional videos over October. So you're going to get a nice flip-flop from a little bit more vlog, fun videos to a lot more instructional. Alrighty, guys. So I'm going to jump into the group message, and then we'll jump into individual readings. Individual readings, I'll probably do like 1 or 2 guessing games, and then the rest donation, because, again, my goal is like an hour tonight. Let's see if I can make it. All right, so group message for tonight. This was coming through loud and clear. So we got, and when I say group message, anybody that's watching live or replay, this message is for you. So first we have To the Sea, Time for a Nap. And whoops, the answers you need are coming. So to me, I kind of feel like the group message here tonight is definitely like, hey, everybody, time to take a break. I feel like this is pretty apt with me as well. Time to take a break. Going to the sea is like you're getting into this boat. I don't know if you can see, there's like a little ferry in this boat. And she's just letting the boat take her wherever. And she's just trusting that, it's going to go where it needs to go and she's going to land where she needs to land, but she's just enjoying the journey along the way. And, time for a nap, similar energy of just taking a break. Don't think about it. I feel like for a lot of you, it's like one specific thing that you've either been trying to manifest, that you've been trying to push. For some of you, I'm hearing it's that you just have been super highly concentrated on something. Maybe it's like a situation or a problem in a relationship, but it's almost like take a break from it. Go with the flow, let it go, and just have faith and trust the universe. Like, they're telling me that if you see 1111, this is going to be a reminder, and the answers that you need are coming. So have faith that just because you let go doesn't mean that it's not going to be solved. I think that's why we hold on so hard sometimes, is because we're just like, whoa, sorry, I'm trying to make this so I don't look like a ghost. I'm so white. I don't know what, I had to mess up my setup. Oh, that's better. Okay. But just understand that it's okay to let go. And some of us, we feel like we can't let go because then the problem won't be solved. But this is very much saying that as soon as you do, and when you do, the answers that you're trying to get, the situation that you've been stressed about, it's almost like the process, the act of letting go and not worrying about it is actually going to make it a lot easier for you. I just want to pull like one more card just to get anything else. I know I usually do pick cards, but time to go. Man, this is like, I feel like these are all very similar cards within this deck. And so this time to go is saying like, it's time for you to let something go. So this fairy's like running away on this pathway and headed to this door. So there's something that you can let go of, something that you can walk away from. So some of you guys, it might just be taking a break from it. For others of you, this is definitely a call to like completely walk away from it. I love to take naps. Me too, Jamie. Do what's best for you. Totally get it. Thank you, Heidi. I so appreciate that. You guys, you members, you guys have been supporting me for so long, and you guys are some of my first members ever, obviously. So I feel heartbroken to do this. I really do. I feel like I'm betraying your guys' trust. But I think I jumped on the membership bandwagon way too soon. I think I jumped on it way before I had enough followers to make it worthwhile for me. I know it's worthwhile for you guys, obviously, but I just need it to kind of, make sense, like time-wise, if that makes sense. And those weeks where I have to do 2 videos a week is very stressful. But yes, nice to see you from India. Hi, Joseph, welcome. Resonated very deeply. Yes, same here. I'm curious too, how did all of your guys' Samhain season go? Halloween season go? Let me know. You guys can see what happened for my Halloween. I'm seeing if there's anything else. Chop wood in reverse. So to me, that's like stop working. Round and round. This is a great card for us to probably leave the group reading on. But the round and round card says that sometimes we feel like we're stuck. We're going in circles. So if you feel like with this situation, you're just going in circles and getting nowhere, it's probably because you're not taking a break from it. And so to really get out of this circular energy, you really have to force yourself to stop, to do something else, to focus on something else. I feel like for a lot of you, the message that's coming through is like whatever it is that you've been pushing off to the side that you really been wanting to do, just like make time for it. For me lately, that's been like reading. I just like at the end of the day, I lay in bed regretting that I just didn't get a couple pages of a book like read. And so I've kind of cut out some time for myself. So the last 30 minutes of the night is like my reading time. Nobody bothers me. That's what I'm doing. And I feel like I'm getting through so many more books, and I'm getting a lot of like help because I'm doing like self-help books. I'm also looking at relationship books. I'm looking at books on toddlers. And because of it, it's like, I feel like I'm taking care of myself through reading. That's just something that really resonates with me. So that might not be the same for you. but the message like, what is it that you've been neglecting? Because maybe taking a break and doing that. It could be painting. It could be doing something creative. It could be getting into a little bit of a workout. Like, it doesn't even need to be that intense. It could just be a nightly walk. Any of that's been kind of nagging you, like, what is it at the end of the day when you're thinking about, oh my gosh, I got all this done, but I didn't do that one thing that I've been wanting to do for like weeks. Maybe it's even just like finish a show. Whatever it is, do it. Carve out some time. Please, please, please. You are an inspiration. Thank you, Joseph. You're so sweet. Alrighty, I love that message for all of us. I feel like for October, though, that's like always the message for me because I'm always pushing myself so hard. Alrighty. All right, let's jump into a few quick individual readings. Hey, Jana. Let's jump into a few quick individual readings. You can tell I haven't done this in a while. Let's do a free reading first because we haven't gotten any donations. If you want to send a donation, you can get at the top of my list, and that is you can donate either through the super chat on YouTube, or you can donate through Venmo, which is in the description down below. Otherwise, we basically do guessing game readings, and we're going to go ahead and do that right now. So I am thinking of a color. If you can guess the color that I'm thinking of, then you get the reading. I'm late for a very important date. You're not too late. I've only been on 16 minutes. If you can guess the color that I'm thinking of, white, silly rabbit. Silly rabbit, you were late, but you were right on time to get a reading. So silly rabbit, let me know what question you have. I'm probably only going to go for like 30, 45 more minutes. Oh, dang it. I should have turned that on. One of the things that I finally got done in here was that I finally got my light installed. So I actually have a real light, but I'm so used to not using it that I didn't even turn it on. And I also got a heater for in here for myself. So yay, that's huge for these live nights, especially now that it's getting colder. Although I haven't quite found the sweet spot with it. It's still too cold. I might just like flip the switch really quick, turn it up. I have a little marker on it so that I know, but it's extra cold out here. I think I might not last long because of that as well. All right, silly rabbit is up first. Brr. I think what I'm going to do for a member-only video, I'm not for sure on this yet, but I think I'm going to do kind of a branch off of automatic drawing where I teach you guys how to automatic draw using the different elements that are out there. So the 4 elements. So using water to automatically draw, using fire to draw, using earth, and then I don't exactly know how I would do air. Oh, my guys just like now gave me an idea for that. But I think what I'm going to do is it's going to be sort of like a sub video of automatic drawing. But members, let me know if there's anything you absolutely want to see for the last member video. And I do not know what are going to have into those member-only videos. So, by the way, watch those if you haven't yet, members, because I don't know if you just won't be able to see them because the memberships won't exist. I might unlist them after a while. Who knows? It's very cold. You design your own tarot cards. That's so cool, Jana. Only major arcana. I've been working on a oracle deck for 4 years now, and I haven't even gotten them designed. I basically wrote them out, got the whole description, like all the cards written out, but I never have gotten a designer for it. Let's see, while we wait for Silly Rabbit, since there's no other donations, let's do another guessing game. So this will be for whoever comes after Silly Rabbit. Let's see. Okay, this might be a little hard. But I'm thinking of a Harry Potter character. If you can guess the Harry Potter character, then you get the reading. Okay, so Silly Rabbit. This will be for whoever's after Silly Rabbit. Yesterday, I glued them to cardstock. Oh, that's such a great idea. I want to see them. Let me pay attention to these comments, and then I'll get back to your question, Silly Rabbit. Concerning news about my dad's health, guidance. Yeah, we'll definitely pull some cards on that. And I'll give you guys a hint. The Harry Potter character that I'm thinking of is out of the newer movies. My husband and I finished those, and we got onto the new series, the newer made series. So if you can guess him. Okay. Silly Rabbit. All reverse cards. The girl Harry ended up with, that's Ginny. Not Ginny. I hope I didn't make it too complicated. All right. Not Voldemort. Keep guessing. But Silly Rabbit. Like, I haven't really even looked at these cards. I know they're reversed, but to me, this is saying, like, don't read too much into it. Because I pulled the Observer card in reverse. And so to me, that's saying, like, don't dive deep into this and search for meaning where there's not meaning. You see all this hair? This heater's definitely, like, kicking up dust. And then I pulled Never Ending Story in reverse. And so to me, this is sort of saying, like, I don't know who gave you this information. Maybe it was your dad. Maybe it was, like, mom, somebody else. But I think there's this tendency to be like, oh, woe is me, victim mentality. There's another thing that's wrong with me. Like, I feel like a little bit of it is because of that. It's like there's something that's being a little bit, like, chalked up. Like, somebody's being a little bit dramatic about it. Now, I'm not trying to, like, devalue, like, whatever's going on with him at all. But it just feels like whoever was trying to make you worried about it was kind of doing it to kind of get that victim energy for themselves, if that makes sense. Like the, oh no, what was him? Oh no, everybody stop and live in this drama is kind of what it feels like. And then I got exchanging gifts in reverse. Trying to figure out, like, I feel like there might be a few meanings here. I feel like for your dad, this card is basically like an equal give and take. And so I'm seeing this as his health. Like, maybe there's not an equal give and take with this situation around his health. Like, maybe, I don't know if he's, like, just not putting in the time and the effort to take care of himself. Like, I feel like that's part of it. But I feel like, I feel like as soon as he gets the help that he needs, there will be balance. It's not such, like, a big deal, if that makes sense. I just realized that I am probably on the wrong Wi-Fi. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. I got my Wi-Fi fixed, by the way. Fleur Delacour? Nope. So I'll narrow it down. So newer movies, he's in Hufflepuff, and it's a dude. So yeah, Silly Rabbit, the exchanging gifts card. I'm feeling like that's the biggest thing is, like, right now his body needs something, his health needs something, and as soon as he gets it, there will be that, like, equal exchange. The take time to breathe it out, that to me is saying, like, try to detach from it and understand, like, the information that you might be getting might have been construed or might have been blown up or dramatized, or, not saying that it's not truthful, but I feel like what your guys are basically trying to say is like, either it's not as big of a deal as you think, or maybe you're blowing it out of proportion. Like you're reading way too much into it and thinking like, oh my gosh, he's going to die tomorrow. And they're trying to like pull you back and be like, no, it's not that bad. So those are great cards to get. For sure. Newt, Jana, you got it. Newt is like the main character of the new. Oh, Nelly, you were so close. Hi, Mama Odie. Let's see. I hope that resonates, Silly Rabbit, but that seems pretty clear to me. Either, the person that relayed the information is kind of like me, and that could even be the doctor. The doctor could be like, trying to like make it sound worse than it actually is. And maybe they truly believe that, but your guys are at least coming in and saying, it's not that. It's not as big of a deal as long as he gets what he needs, and everyone kind of like doesn't to this drama around him of like, oh my gosh, oh no, and like giving him a pity party, then I think he'll be in a lot better shape. You're welcome. Yeah, and it could just also be, and if it's not the doctor or the person who gave you that information, it could just be you. But it's getting blown up a little bit more than it should be, for sure. Melvin. Jana, let me know what your question is. Or maybe my dad trying to guilt me. Sounds like a little bit of everything. Oh my goodness. Just seeing if there's anything else. Like, I'm more leaning on the doctor. Maybe like it's almost like it feels like he's saying, well, this is it and this is what happens, but he's not leaving room for like improvement. He's not leaving room for, but if you do these things, it will get better. But I think the doctor's probably in such a distrusting state of like, well, people don't do it anyways, so I'm just going to tell him how it is. It's kind of like his attitude. Gotcha. Alrighty, guys. So I'm giving Jana a reading next because she guessed our guessing game. And if you don't want to wait, you can send a donation. Otherwise, we'll just play more guessing games until I'm wrapped up for tonight. Are there any messages from my past grandfather? He passed recently from COVID. Oh no. We'll see how we can do this in just a few seconds, but I should have grabbed my mediumship cards. You're welcome, Silly Rabbit. Just to kind of speed up the process, I'm just going to pull cards for him. Know that it might not be as specific as me like connecting with him with my abilities. I mean, I will at the same time, but okay. Message in a bottle. Like immediately what's coming through is like, I'm going to send you messages. I'm going to communicate with you. Don't you worry about it. The messages are definitely coming. There is like a delay in them, whether that's due to your grief, whether that's due to, him on the other side processing. I feel like it's more like your grief. But I mean, for anybody that's like going through something similar, when, your loved one is trying to send you a message and they might have just recently passed and you're not getting those messages, it could be that, you're just not connecting because you don't have that psychic ability honed. It could be that your grief and the emotions are getting way too much in the way for you to receive that information. Or it could be that they're doing other things. But this to me, Jana, is basically saying like, he's definitely going to send them, pay attention. It might not be right away, but it's definitely going to happen. So what I'm doing is I pulled the cards to basically ask him like what's most important. And then I'm asking him what these cards mean. because I pulled this never ending story card, but I'm getting like a different message from it. And he's sort of saying like, this is you, Jana, like crying and sad. And he's highlighting the time portion of this. I think he's saying like, it's okay to cry. It's okay to grieve. Like take as much time as you need, but beware of like falling into this trap of the never ending story, of the victim mentality of like, oh, woe is me, my life sucks, I'm losing everyone around me. I think he's worried that you might stay in this zone for too long, if that makes sense. He just wants you to not live. Literally the phrase that he's putting in my head is like, you knew this was coming. Like, you know people die. It's gonna happen. You can still communicate with us. We're still here. But he's not like shaming you for grieving or any of that, but he's just saying like, don't let it become something that you don't live your life because of it. Maybe you have a tendency to just like dwell on things for too long or something, and that's like why that message is coming up. Come to the edge. It's interesting that this card is coming up because I think he's calling you to do something brave and bold and exciting. Maybe that's in his name. Maybe that's just like for yourself. Like the energy that I'm getting behind it is like changing your hair color or like doing something drastic, like booking a trip because it'll bring you happiness. Like it's okay to indulge. It's okay to be bold and spontaneous and do something because you just need a change in energy and you need a shot of happiness is like what he's showing me. He's like, it's okay to take that a boost of happiness if temporarily it will help you through this grieving process. So don't feel like you can't do anything like fun. I feel like this come to the edge card, again, it's like the energy of like just book a vacation, go get a spa massage, go dye your hair a different color, move. Like he's giving you like that big energy of like, just be risky, do something spontaneous, do something big. Not because it's more because like he's literally telling me because it's a distraction, and maybe what you need right now is a distraction. And just know that with spirits too, they sometimes have their own agendas. That doesn't mean you have to listen. They're definitely not guides. They're not like for our highest and best good. I feel like I had a reading last week where someone's mom came through and was like, you need to do this, 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 and this. And I kept having to say over and over, like, you don't have to do what they say. This person has their own agenda, their own bias. That doesn't mean you have to do it. You have free will. But I think he's just giving you permission to be happy, to be bold, to do something out there, to do something fun. Like, I feel like you're kind of like, oh, I have to be in mourning for the next couple months, and it's going to take me a while to get out of it. But I feel like he's like, no, you knew this was coming. It's okay. I'm going to come. I'm going to talk to you. Everything's going to be okay. Do something fun. And obviously, finding fun after you lose someone can be very difficult, but that's at least what he's coming through saying. Oh yeah, Lori, Silly Rabbit, how was your birthday? Thanks for asking, Lori. Thank you, Alani. Alani Lani. That is so weird, Alani Lani, because literally that's my mother-in-law's name. Her name's Alani, but she goes by Lonnie, and her nickname is Alani Lani. So it's very interesting that you're popping up in here. That's serendipitous for me, I should say. I think that's what he loved about me. Oh, that's so awesome. And I mellowed out a bit and became sad. Yes, well, just know that the grieving process, there's no shame in that. Everyone does their own thing. It's okay. No disappointments. Yay, Silver Rabbit. Woo! I'm so glad. Making a song for him. Did talk about travel to see family. Heck yes, I love it. That's such a cool way to remember somebody, doing a song. Like a lot of people do tattoos. I don't know. There's so many cool things that you can do. Alrighty, guys. Let's do another guessing game. road again. I feel like I've heard that, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. All right, next guessing game. I'm thinking of a vegetable. If you can guess the vegetable that I'm thinking of, you'll get the reading. You're welcome, Jana. Thank you guys for being here. Oh, thank you, Jamie. So I'll get to Jamie first. Jamie, let me know what your question is, and then whoever guesses this one will get to next. So if you can guess the vegetable that I'm thinking of, then you get the reading. You know who we haven't seen in forever is Yurika. I wonder what happened to Yurika. She was in here all the time, and then we haven't seen her in a couple weeks. I worry about you guys sometimes. I see you guys, and then I worry about you if I don't see you. That's the nice thing about having such a small channel right now. If you can guess the vegetable that I'm thinking of, then you can get a reading. And Jamie, let me know if you have a question. Not pumpkin, not carrot, not asparagus, not greens, not cucumber. Jamie, is that your question? I'll answer that question anyway. If it's anything about psychic development, I usually just answer it. Okay. Oh, did she? That's her question. Oh, girl, well, you didn't have to send me $10 for that. If you have a psychic question, I will answer that as well, but I will answer that in a second. Tomato, Nelly, you got it. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss. So Nelly, let me know what your question is, and I'll get to you after Jamie. So Jamie, do you have to be born with this ability, or can you learn it? I feel like everyone in the chat could maybe answer that for me. They'll probably be like, no, you can do it. But Jamie, if you're new to my channel, that is all that I teach. I'm on here teaching psychic development and basically showing you guys that you can exercise this skill. And I basically have I want to say 1 or 2 whole videos on that question alone. And basically everyone is psychic. Everyone has the psychic ability, and it's really like a spectrum. And on the low end of the spectrum, some people have gut hits. Sometimes they're not accurate. Sometimes they're way off. They come at random times, people have no control over them. But the more you practice and the more psychic you are on that spectrum, that's when it becomes that you can call on it. You can turn on that psychic ability. You can invite in the information. You can have it be both accurate and reliable, if that makes sense. But it comes with practice. And so the analogy that I always use is that your psychic ability is like a muscle. And if you go to the gym and you work out that muscle, it's going to get stronger. It's going to get more reliable. It's going to get more accurate. But if you stop going to the gym, or if you've never been to the gym, that muscle is just not going to be strong. You're not going to be able to lift 200 pounds, if that makes sense. And that's kind of my analogy on what the psychic ability is, but I am perfect proof that you do not have to be born with this. And somebody got nasty with me on my Instagram a couple weeks ago when I put this up. And I will say, some people are born with more natural abilities, but that doesn't mean you can't hone those abilities and get yours just as strong as somebody else that was born with a more natural sense. I think what happens is people are born either naturally with their psychic ability more turned on, and they have a harder time turning it off. And then I think there's other people who have less of a psychic ability, and they have a harder time turning it on, if that makes sense. But I was technically born with this ability. Everyone is born with this ability. I mean, everyone can probably account to gut instincts, a dream that might have happened that maybe came true. Everybody has it. Again, though, I'm perfect proof because I didn't really have experiences, didn't really think about it until I actively decided to go out and learn it. And then when I went out and learned it, I strengthened that muscle, and I keep strengthening that muscle every single day by doing lots of readings, doing videos, talking about it, teaching And that is why I'm probably just as psychic, if not more, than some of those people who are born naturally. And I hate the term born naturally because some people assume that they don't have those abilities. And then what it also does is for the people who are born naturally with those abilities is, if their abilities start to fall, they start to think there's something wrong with them. And it's really, there's not anything wrong with them. It's just like maybe they fell out of practice. So that's a very long-winded answer to your question, but I love that question. I've made videos on it before. Let me pop down. So Nellie was next. And for all of those, and it's so funny too, because all of October, I'm doing these in-person events and everyone's like, that's so cool that you know how to do it. And my response every time is, you can learn it too. You can do it too. So Jana, you are psychic, and start saying that to yourself. Say, I am psychic. I have an alarm in my phone that says I am psychic, and it goes off. I read it, and it's an affirmation that I say to myself. Everyone's psychic. You just think about it as like a spectrum. Like, where are you at? The more you work out, the further along you get, you stop working out, you kind of hop back. But just know video courses on this where I have kind of everything consolidated into one thing. I also have one-on-one counseling sessions where I teach you guys kind of how to navigate and understand your psychic abilities and like what's blocking you and kind of what's in your way. Is tomato not a vegetable? Oh my God. Can you tell my brain is You're so right, Lori. You're so right. What I was thinking was I was like, oh, a cucumber or a zucchini. And then I was like, no, I always do those. I need something else that's not a phallic symbol. and then I was like, well, tomatoes around. Oh, Lori, call me out. I need to go back to school. I should have known. I know that. I call people out on that all the time. Oh, sorry, guys. Well, Nellie got it. So I was not psychic as a child, no. I definitely had psychic experiences, which one of my member videos, I go through all of my psychic experiences. So I've had a few, but not as much as like somebody who was raised, by psychic people or who's just naturally more empathic. But yeah, Jamie, great question. If you're new here, definitely peruse around in my Start Here playlist. That is I always make that playlist kind of like my main one. The main things you should know, the main questions that I tend to get, all get put in that playlist. Sorry, guys. You all are like, Lauren's crazy tonight. She thinks tomatoes are vegetables. My question is kind of related, LOL. But thank you, Jamie. Thanks for the donation. Just know that I'll happily answer psychic development questions anytime. So, Jamie, if you do have like a psychic question, I'm happy to answer it for you since you donated it. I was thinking maybe one-on-one might be good to start with. Oh, Jana and Nellie, you guys have such similar things. I thought you were the same thing. Yeah, and I will say, because we're on this topic, you can start with my video courses and kind of get introduced that way. You can also start by buying the workbook or the 90-day cards that I always recommend. And those are basically what I was taught with. I went to a program called the Aspen program. And so basically everything that I teach in my video courses are that program. That program is no longer around. The only thing that's left over is the workbook and the 90-day cards. I did a video on those. So I teach the same basic principles also because I was a coach there for a year. And just, I think that the principles that she teaches are universal. There's nothing like, I don't know, super specific or anything. My mentor consolidated it in a way that absolutely made sense to me. And I think, I don't know if she was a Virgo, maybe she was, but I just thought in the same way that she does. And so my courses are there, and kind of emulating the same stuff that she does. But if you don't want to do the courses, you can also just set up a one-on-one coaching session with me. And that coaching session, you can let me lead the way and I can walk you through things if you're just like, I don't know what to do, but I want to be more psychic. And then, or the other way that some people have used their coaching sessions with me is just getting validation, just being like, this happened to me. What is this? Was that psychic? Was it not? And I will basically tune into it, give them feedback, and kind of coach them through how they should know next time, if that makes sense. So it can be more of a conversation, those coaching sessions, or they can be a little bit more guided by me. So I'm scared to be mediumistic, but the kind where you see the ghost. I'd be scared though. Well, and that's a good point. If you want to be psychic, you want to be a medium, but you don't want to see the spirits, you can always shut off clairvoyance. You can receive any information through one of those 6 clairs, but it doesn't have to be seen. And that's what happened to me when I first started turning it on and going to those classes. I started seeing things and I did not like that. So I shut down my clairvoyance for a long time. And then I had to learn to kind of turn it back on when I was more comfortable and okay with it. And now I'm mostly clairvoyant and clairaudient. Any spirit or any guidance from spirit regarding my intuition. Biggest thing coming through right away is like psychic sanctuary. That's just like a term that I use. But honestly, what a psychic sanctuary is just going inwards, meditating, shamanic journaling, whatever it is for you. Like they're saying, like loud and clear, like do the work, like go, Nelly, go sit and talk with them, figure out a way that you can talk best with them, even if it's like laying in the bath and communicating with them. Like biggest thing to me is like they're saying, come seek us, don't wait for the messages to come. I feel like you're just sort of waiting for the messages to fall in your lap. But they're like, you can initiate the conversation. You can sit down and do a guided meditation. You can automatic write and talk to us. I have trouble connecting to it and recognizing my messages. I'm not sure what I might need to do to connect. I mean, my biggest thing that's coming through is like, just put in some more time and be a little bit more diligent about like, okay, I'm actually going to do this exercise. And I'm going to go meet with them. Like, I feel like the energy that I'm getting for you, Nelly, is just being more pushing. Go to them. And I mean, I will obviously also say, like, understand your clairs, pay attention to how you receive psychic information, do the psychic exercises. Nelly, if you haven't seen the video, I did like a video that's like everyday psychic games that you can play. And so maybe just doing something every day that's psychic, it can kind of like get you into this mode of like, you're constantly staying in that psychic mind. And for a lot of us, that's really hard because we're constantly in our analytical mind. We're constantly in that left brain. And so when we're training ourselves to stay in our right brain, our creative side, our imaginative side, our psychic side, we just train ourselves to be there more. And then we end up getting more information, paying attention to it more. Like biggest thing that's coming through for you, Nelly, is just like putting in more daily time. Just putting in more time with it all. Because yeah, they're saying you don't need help. You don't need help from anyone on the outside. You have this deep intuition. You have this deep knowing. The moon and the owl are both signs of intuition. We are here. The higher power is here to communicate with you. But this truth be told card is kind of like, what are you not being honest with yourself about when it comes to your psychic abilities? And to me, it's coming across as like just not putting in the time and to do like an exercise every single day. I shut myself down hard as a kid because I was scared of it. Yeah, and I feel like that's the majority of us, Nelly. I feel like a lot of us are naturally kind of on the side of we got it shut down because of, something that our parents said to us. And because it's a lot harder for us to turn it on versus those people who are born with it, who naturally have a harder time just turning it off, if that makes sense. Rabbit hops into a little bro. I'm kind of scared that one day I'm going to see my first ghost randomly. I feel like if you're constantly immersing yourself in this world, talking to mediums, talking to stuff about, or people about spirits, I think it might happen. I mean, that's how it happened with me. But Silly Rabbit, you can always set that boundary that says, hey, I'm not ever going to talk to anybody. Not ever going to talk to spirits. I will say that in my Aspen program, I had a really good friend that did the whole program, but she opted out of the mediumship completely. She only did the psychic studies and the medical intuitive and the Reiki, but she just did not do the mediumship stuff because she wasn't comfortable with that. And you can do that. You can be a psychic and not be a medium. You don't have to talk to those people if you don't want to at all. Heck, I would love to see them. I forgot what I was talking about. My oracle cards? That's probably not what we're talking about. I want to see them when I want to see them. I'm lost on that. Are crystals for real? Do they have magical properties? Jamie, I have a whole video on that too. Jamie, that's actually one of my earliest videos. Check it out. It's like a ways back. You have to dig. But if you search for crystals in my thing, I kind of talk about my opinion on crystals. You're late, but you're here. Hey, Cheyenne. You're not wrong. I do need to get better about the daily practice. Like that, to me, there's like two big things for you, Nellie. It's the daily practice. So maybe watch that video that I recommended. And then it's also like actually doing a deeper exercise where you're going to them. Because right now I feel like you're just kind of walking around and waiting for like a sign to fall out of the sky and hit you on your head and not happening. And so it's more about like going to them, initiating a journey, initiating a guided meditation. When I say journey, shamanic journeying is another way to communicate with your guides. It's a shamanic way, basically. So it's a little bit different, but it's my preferred way of talking to spirits. Well, Cheyenne, I will say don't get a membership that's like above the $1. You'll want to watch the beginning, but I'm basically cutting out the $5 and the $10 membership. Well, after this month. So there will still be perks for this month. So if you do want to come to the membership, or the members only live at the end of this month, it will still be there. And there will be one more member only video. But I'm basically cutting out those higher tiers of the membership because I just don't have enough members to make it worth my time right now. I know, and I feel bad saying that, but right now it's like I'm putting in a lot of time to basically make a video for one person in that tier. And I'm just kind of burning myself out. And I need to wait till I get a few more subscribers. But I will bring those higher membership levels back. But the lower membership level will still be here. Saw a couple of spirits as a kid and was so afraid. I was in first grade then. Yeah, that's a lot of people. Oh, seeing spirits. Oh, what did you guys say? You want to see? Okay. Yeah. I'm always wanting to see them. I'm going to watch all your videos. Some of them are old and they're a little cringy. I apologize. And I will say right now, I know I'm catching up on these comments, but I'm probably going to do one more reading that is a guessing game. After that, I'm probably going to be wrapping it up. So if anyone wants to donate and absolutely has to get a question in, go ahead and do so. I saw a couple of spirits as a kid. Oh yeah, but what I was gonna say is that's what happens to a lot of us is something happens when we're younger to shut it down. Maybe it's simply your parents just saying, oh, ghosts aren't real, dreams aren't real. Or it could be that you had a very scary one experience. And then, you either told yourself, I never want to see that again, or somebody else told you that's not real. And so when you move forward with that, narrative of, oh, it's not real, then, it's really hard to undo that. You have to work through a lot of blocks to unblock yourself to get started. And I remember that took a really long time, but as soon as you get through it, it's so much easier to turn on those abilities. It's so much easier for you to connect, and it's so much easier to get rid of blocks as you go, if that makes sense. Good question, Jana. I am going to have a second dreaming video coming up this month. I had the first dreaming video out of 1 of 4. Dreams where we leave our bodies. Sometimes it's called out-of-body experiences, maybe, but I'll be talking about it in that. This next one will be types of dreams. And I can't remember what else I need to work on. I'm working on oh my gosh, my mouth doesn't work tonight. I'm working on all my scripts tomorrow. Someone calling out your name, and I got mad and said, "What?" Ooh, and I couldn't move, and I felt like I was lifting out of my body. Oh, that's so scary, Jana. That's so scary. And I will say with that, fear can blow up something into something even scarier. So when you're a kid and you're afraid and you don't know how to control it or how to handle it, your fear can kind of take the lead and make whatever you're imagining or, the psychic hits that you're getting, make it seem like 10 bajillion times worse. And also when you're a kid, you're just so empathetic. And so you might have been talking to a negative spirit and didn't know how to shut that down. But now, in theory, you should have the tools so that you can never let that happen again. Best crystal for protection. I like black tourmaline. That's my go-to. I kept one above my head on my nightstand, or not my nightstand, the bed thingy. I can't remember what it's called. And I kept one on my nightstand and one under the mattress on me when I was first learning how to do this because I was so scared. And I was just like, crystals! And it helped me feel better. It helped me feel protected because it made me feel like, okay, there's something else there because I don't have the faith and the trust in myself. So maybe the crystals will protect me. Jet and onyx. Ooh, yeah. Shungite. That's good too. My parents just thought I was / am a freak. Yep. Thankfully, my parents have been pretty cool about it. I have trouble with visualization. What would you recommend that if I can't see the visuals with a guided meditation? I would just focus on any clairvoyant exercise. So if you're wanting more visuals, if you're wanting more auditory things, focus on exercises that are specific to that clair. So if you go to my clairs videos, I have a few exercises that are specific to it. I have some exercises that, I talk about them all. In my courses, I give you basically the full list. But yeah, focus on the visuals. Nelly, also maybe try shamanic journeying. That to me is way more visual than meditations. And because of that, that's why it's my favorite, is I feel like I'm not meditating. I feel like I'm watching a movie with shamanic journeying. I don't know what that was. Yes, it was. Gosh, that is scary. Okay, let me do one more free reading. That's correct. I'm thinking of a fruit. If you can guess the fruit that I'm thinking of, then you get the reading. And it won't be a vegetable, I promise. And this will be the last free pull for the night. So if anyone absolutely has a question, get to donating because I'm probably going to wrap up pretty soon. Are oils okay? Yeah, oils can also be very protective. And I think I talk about that in some of my older videos as well. There's some that you can get specifically for protection. Yay, Jamie! I apologize if I don't remember. I have so many readings, and October was like literally my worst month. Oh no, I do remember you, Jamie. We just had like a 30-minute reading, right? Or sorry, 15-minute reading. Hi, Carrie. If you can guess the fruit that I'm thinking of, then you get our last free reading for tonight. Unfortunately, I have to get off early and go move furniture so I can go to bed on time. Daughter can't visualize, period. It's something neurological. Oh, I know. There's some people with that neurological issue. I know what you're talking about. And I've always wanted to talk to somebody about it because I'm curious how they might experience psychic hits. But I need to find somebody who's both psychic and experiences that. I also want to talk to somebody who's schizophrenic. Nobody's gotten it yet. Not apple, not pear, not grapes, not oranges, not cherry. Oh, bananas. Lori, you got it. Bananas. Lori, also, did you see my email? Because you're the only one at that top tier, you basically automatically win the 15-minute reading for November. So I don't know if you saw that, but I hope it's sent. If you have a question. It's bananas. B-A-N-A-S. So, yeah. So, Lori, by the way, 15-minute reading, last one for November. If you want to take advantage of that before that membership tier disappears, feel free. And I feel bad probably mostly for Lori because Lori's gotten so many perks out of all of these tiers. She's probably going to be like, no, all those free readings that I get. I think it's totally going to be for you guys once I can make it worth it on my end. Aphantasia, that's what it's called. Yes. Yeah, I'm not sure. I would need to learn more about that. I did see your email. No worries. I just wanted to make sure you saw it. You can redeem it at any time, honestly. Take a general reading tonight. Awesome. All right, and Lori will be our last one for tonight. Otherwise, I'll just hang out and answer any more questions that you guys might have. Non-psychic reading questions. Psychic development. I'm always happy to chat. If you want to get Lauryn to stay on longer, that's how you do it. Ask her questions about teaching and coaching. Bam. 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 Okay. What is this in regards to? They're giving me like a step-by-step instructions. I feel like, honestly, Lori, this was the group reading. Okay, but I'm going to just go with it. So the round and round card, this is what it's about. It's about something that you feel stuck in, something that you feel like is not improving, that you're just going around in circles. It could be your mental health. It could be a situation, a job, a relationship. I don't know. But something that you feel like is going round and round in circles. The call is to stop and observe it and really pull back and say, what is going on here? Why is this not working? Why is this not progressing? Why is this not moving forward? You know, what's causing the problems, and how can I think of solutions? Like it's very much like pulling your energy back, scanning the situation and being like, what's not working here and how can I make it different? And then it's making sure that in that process, you're being fair with yourself in both regards, like being fair to yourself in the sense of like, okay, I'm going to give myself what I need, and be more fair about boundary setting, but also saying like, where am I being too demanding? I feel like this is with a relationship. Like, where am I being too demanding? Where am I not being fair with fair to the other person? And maybe this could even be with like yourself, and self-care. I'm like on the fence about if this is like self-care or like a relationship. But the last card is basically saying it's okay then to ask for help. When you figured out the solution, when you figured out what's wrong, it's okay to like voice these opinions and say, hey, I'm seeing this happen. I think this is the problem. I'm presenting this solution. Can you help me get there? Yeah, I feel like this is a relationship because I got emotions are running high and communication is key. Oh my gosh, my dog is barking. Might be my kid, single here. Oh, gotcha. And I'm not getting like there was like a fight or an argument as much as just like lots of energy, lots of things going on. And so it's like, all right, something we're going at something that's just not working anymore. How can I pull back, find kind of what's wrong, and kind of think about the solutions of how to fix it? And then both set boundaries, but also respect that other person. But then also bring them in and communicate and ask them to help with the situation, not just have it be all on you. All right, anything else for Lori? I feel like this question, why? I feel like you kind of need to get like, kind of read between the lines of like what's going on with her. Like ask, like, why is this behavior happening? Dig a little bit because maybe whatever it looks like on the outside is not actually what it is, if that makes sense. Teenagers have no boundaries and are entitled. Yep. Do we get to keep our membership? Yes. So I will keep the 99-cent level for a while until I decide to reintroduce bigger tiers. And that'll be good for me too, because then when I actually reintroduce them, I can list out all the other things that you were getting that I had added as extras that I couldn't really edit after I put them up. But I don't know if I cancel like the $10 tier, if it'll automatically bump you down to 1, or if you guys might have to re-sign up, and I apologize if that's the case. I know that this is really inconvenient, and this was a mistake on my end of jumping into it way too quickly because I was too excited. But it will be back. But the emojis and the badges will be still there because that's just the 99-cent level, and the thing there is just you're sending me 99 cents to help support the channel is kind of what that is. So that membership will stay because that really, there's nothing really going out on my end for that. That's too time consuming. Those are good tips, Mama Odie. Alrighty. Thank you guys so much. I think I'm going to wrap it up there unless anybody has any more questions to throw at me. But thank you guys for being here. Again, know that I have a schedule now. So you can see on my events page on my website the next day that I'm actually going to go live. The plan is to basically there's going to be 3 more lives, or sorry, 3 total lives. Tonight was 1. The second one will be for our non-members, and then the third one will be our last one for members. And then starting in December, there should just be 2 live public ones a month. But because it's not always on the same time or date, it's kind of hard to remember. So just always go to my website and you should be able to see when it's going to be. You're welcome, Lori. Should I get a pet? I keep wanting a pet rabbit. If you want. I will say, just with getting a new pet also, well, I think I have, no, fuck. I don't think I have a video on it, but one of the things you can use an animal communicator for is to be like, hey, can you tune into the rabbit that I might get? Or if you're looking at a specific one, like a specific dog, you can always present the animal communicator with like the 3 dogs you're trying to choose between, and get like an idea of their personality ahead of time, or like any messages, anything I should know about this rabbit. That's just another fun way to use that ability. Ooh, I did that for my mom because she basically got a breeder dog, like a dog from a breeder, and she couldn't meet the dogs ahead of time. It was basically like, here, we're sending you pictures, pick one. And so she had me kind of tune into their energies. And they always talk about, to this day, how like I got his personality like spot on. And I did it with my dog too, because I got a husky. He was also from a breeder, and I couldn't meet him up front because the lady had to bring him from Utah. And so I had to basically just read their photos and pick which one felt best to me. So presents 3 rabbits like an interview. Yep. Figure out why my dog pees in front of the kitty litter box. Yes, that's another thing I can definitely help out with. With my animal communication course that I teach you guys, also as an animal communicator, I was taught how to deal with the behavioral stuff. So I can teach you guys about that as well if you're ever interested in taking that course, or if you just need to call me up for an animal communication reading. It happens. It's not always the easiest to do, because sometimes especially if you're going into like a shelter, that animal might not be there, when after I read them or something. But what are the highlights of your resume? You guys are funny. Oh my gosh, Jana, I would love to see them. It will give me hope and inspiration to finish mine one day. Animal family counseling, basically. And that's one of the things that I talk about is like sometimes with animals and their pets, sometimes the animal is totally in the right and they're just acting out because, the owner is not necessarily being fair. And so I have to kind of work as a counselor and sometimes say like, hey, they're doing this because you're doing that. And sometimes that's hard for people to hear. And so I also teach about that. How do you kind of walk that line? Heck yeah, Lori. And all of that I teach in my animal communication course. You guys are so funny. Shows you its ability to eat fruit adorably and poop everywhere. Well, I can jump high and I listen. You sound like nice rabbits. I had a chinchilla once and he was ornery and he pooped everywhere. I swear he like projectile pooped because like there would be poop like 5 feet from his cage. And we always joke that he put his butt up against the cage and tried to poop out as far as he could just to piss us off. Oh, have you ever read a horse? Oh, yes. I actually did in my animal communication course because the woman that taught me, she was on a ranch. So we went to her ranch to learn how to do this animal communication course. And so we read her horse there, but I don't think I have read a horse since. Not very many people have horses. But the woman I learned from, she had several horses. So I actually got to read them quite often. And they are very different. They are, I don't want to say like smarter than like dogs or cats, but in some ways they can be for sure. He was a flinger. Yes. You're right, silly rabbit. Mickey the chinchilla. My pity just has diva attitude. Oh, yes. And some of them do. And some of them, it's because mom and dad spoil them too much, or sometimes it's not. Sometimes they got an attitude and we need to talk to them and be like, hey, let's dial it back. Has a horse ever told you, oh my gosh, silly rabbit, now that you bring that up, the second time I tried to talk to a horse, I don't know, I wonder if I said this in another video somewhere, but I was in Mexico on a vacation and we did a horseback riding tour and I was like, oh, I'm an animal communicator now. I can talk to horses. And so I got on this horse and gosh, I remember it being like so unpleasant because my horse that I was on was so irritated. He did not want to talk to me. And he was just so irritated with the other horses around us. And when I kind of left, I realized that the ranch that we went to, it was a very touristy destination and they were not taking good care of those horses at all. And it was one of those places where they were just trying to get tourists in and make as much money as they could. And these horses were just hot. They were tired. They would bring way too many of them on a trail. And the whole time that we were on this trail, these horses would try to just randomly jump in front of the other one and like aggressively kind of like push the other one out of the way. And my horse just wanted to be at the front so bad. And we were like out in the desert of Mexico, and he took me through bushes, and they had like thorns on him. And by the time I was done with this horseback riding tour, my legs were bleeding because I had so many scratches on my legs because my horse did not care about me and just took me through the brambles to basically get in front of these other horses and push them out of the way. They were very aggressive horses. And he didn't want to talk to me. And that's when I learned, I think I journaled about it, and I was like, I learned today that not all animals want to talk to you, and you need to respect that. So I forgot that was the second time I talked to a horse. And because I had such great experiences before, I was like, well, all horses are going to be like this. But then I learned, those horses were there against their will, and they didn't enjoy being there at all. And he didn't want to talk to me. And that sucked. And since then, I try to be a little bit more cognizant when I go on vacations of not purchasing into stuff like that. Like, I don't do dolphin crap. I don't do a lot of like animal encounters where animals are like forced to do things, because I'm just so empathetic to them. I'm like, they clearly don't want to be doing this. Like, can we not ride the dolphins? Anyway, that's a long story. But you just reminded me of that, and it's been forever since I thought about that. What was the most intelligent animal you read so far? Oh. The one that's coming to mind recently was actually a client who she had maybe like a 30-minute reading with me, and we connected with her animal that passed, and it was a cat, and he was just talking in very big terms, and I think he had been around several times before, maybe not even as a cat, but he was like, now this woman's guide. I think she had lost him, but he was very much like, no, this was part of the plan. I don't know, but it was like, I think it's been a cat, but I will say it's never determined on their outward appearances, because I've met some dumb cats. I've met some I shouldn't say dumb as much as like not as aware of themselves and their ability to communicate with us. But yeah, it really doesn't matter at all like what they look like on the outside. I've spoken to like very tiny, tiny creatures before who are just as vocal as any other, if that makes sense. Ooh. Yeah, that's one that I've always struggled with, because some animals in the zoo absolutely hate it. Like, I hate being around the gorillas. I hate being around the big cats, because usually they don't have enough space. But the animals that they actually do give enough space to, they're pretty content. But it's the ones that are way too cramped, way too crowded. Those are the ones that tend to be like, oh my gosh, I'm going stir crazy. Like, they feel so angry and anxious, if that makes sense. But I feel like zoos are getting better, and they're allowing for more space because of people that are sticking up for them. But I will say I hate SeaWorld. Screw SeaWorld. Like, I hope they go out of business. I hope they turn into something else that I want them to free all of those animals. The animals that need to swim 20 miles a day that are stuck in a swimming pool, that's, the issue that I personally have. I'm going to come back next time as a pampered house cat. Yes, that's the life. Is that like the end one? If like every life you technically get better, according to some people, I don't necessarily believe this. You just like the end, the top, the highest one you could be is a pampered house cat. Was my rabbit my guide? Possibly. Spirits are not here to entertain. Be respectful. Yep. That's true. The guy from, what is it? Paranormal, I can't remember. The one that's the aggressive, like, macho dude, he needs to learn that. I would love to go on a paranormal investigation. Yeah, that we have some groups here in Colorado, but it's very much like you have to join to be a part of their group, and you have to join to get in on the investigation. They don't do a whole lot of public stuff, but miniature horses would be fun. Zach Banks, yes. He's so aggressive with spirits. One day he's going to find my videos and call me out. Just watch. And I'll be like, oh, shit. I'm glad you guys feel the same. Alrighty. Okay, yeah. So events, next time you want to see me, it's always going to be up on my website for now, in case you're ever confused. This week's video is going to be about pendulums, how to actually use a pendulum. And then I'm going to be recording all the next chunk of videos this week and next week. And they're going to be a lot more instructional for this month. I know we were going to have a Claire video. I'm going to redo my Claire stuff, go way more in depth, excuse me, with those. And then, let's see. And then I also have a dreaming video, I know at least. And then I'm curious, I'm thinking about doing this. Let me know if you guys would want to see it. I want to do kind of like a holiday kind of gift guide, a metaphysical holiday gift guide, where I kind of recommend like my favorite metaphysical gifts, like all different types for people in your life that are super psychic and you want to give them something like this, or maybe you want to buy something for yourself, or maybe you know or have friends and you need to get them like something small that's not super woo-woo but kind of is. So I'm thinking of doing kind of like a fun little Halloween Halloween. Oh my gosh, I'm still stuck in Halloween. Holiday video about all the sorts of gifts that you could possibly receive or get other people. And probably I'll list some of my top favorite products that I've bought over the years. Woohoo, Jessica! Welcome. I'm glad you caught me live. I'm just about to hop off. If you feel that way, then absolutely. I always say trust your gut. Ooh, pendulums. Yeah, pendulums can definitely be helpful if you use them right, for sure. And I'm just now realizing that part of my pendulum video I didn't even film. Oops. I need to do that. Oh, you bought the Disney Villains Tarot deck? I'm hoping that I get it for Christmas. It's in my wish list that I've sent to my family. My family got my Christmas wish list this year, and it's like, I feel like 30% tarot cards. Love working with pendulums. Awesome. Yeah, that'll be this Friday. And then we'll go into there'll be a dreaming video. Claire's videos coming up. Lots of just how to exercise videos, because I know we haven't had as much of those lately. And then probably a gift-giving guide, a woo-woo gift-giving guide, because I think that will be a fun video. Hello, Jordan! Yes, I'm excited for the dreaming video too. Dreaming is like one of my favorite topics. I'm surprised I haven't done one yet. Love woo-woo gifts. Yeah. I'm trying to think. I want to make sure they're good gifts too, but anyway. Tease. Okay, so our very last members only night will be November 30th. I shouldn't say very last. It will probably come back once I get a few more subscribers. I just need to get a few more people. So if you want to see those come back, help me by sharing my videos, commenting on them, engaging with them. Whenever you give my videos likes too, you guys, that basically tells YouTube, hey, this video is interesting enough that somebody gave it a like or somebody subscribed, so we're going to push it. So anytime that you can, I really appreciate you guys giving me a comment, even it's like, Lauryn, your hair is cool today, which it probably never is. But all of that sort of engagement helps. Oh, Jordan, coming in. Yay, Eureka, of course, right as like, right as I'm about to jump off, but it's okay. Jordan after Jordan, I'm going to wrap it up. Yurika, we were just talking about you. I was like, we haven't seen her in weeks. I hope she's okay. And I will say, too, for those of you just now jumping in, I do actually have an event schedule up now. So if you're like, where the heck is she? Is she going live? It's on my events page now. I do have a wish list on this page, too. Thank you, Lori. Nobody's bought me anything yet, but I look forward to it. I know so many local YouTubers, both working with my husband's channel and just some other people. And there are people that just get things in the mail daily, and they get weird things too. But yeah, I have a wish list for my channel that I always put in the comments that I never like to call attention to it because I don't want to be like, hey, go buy me stuff. But it's stuff for the channel that you guys will probably see. Like, it's like I need to make a video about something, but I don't have the tools yet, or I want a new Oracle deck so that I can read more with you guys. So that's kind of what that wish list is. It kind of goes back into the channel, basically. How's your situation right now? Jordan. How is Jordan's situation? I immediately got like clairsentient, like dryness. Like my throat got dry. I felt like dry. I'm going to ask what that means because I don't get that very often. And I just heard resources drying up. So maybe right now your resources are drying up. Let's see. I feel like what's happening right now was not necessarily fated. It's something that you probably brought about. Because I pulled the fates in reverse. And so to me, this is saying like, it's not just something that randomly happened, fell in your lap. It's that you kind of went out of your way to make this happen. And right now, you're not co-creating with the universe. You're not manifesting. You're not asking the universe for help or being clear about your intentions. And so the universe is basically saying, we don't know how to help you. And so what needs to happen is a change. A change needs to happen. And honestly, I feel like this change is basically saying, hey, this is what I want. This is what I need help with. And I feel like there's a little bit of an understanding that, hey, like I sort of got myself here. I'm not going to blame the universe. I'm going to accept that, I kind of got myself into this sticky situation is what it feels like. I'm curious if I'm like off, but it's time to release the negativity. Whatever it is that has happened that's led you to where you're at, there's just been too much negativity around it. And I feel like you're not co-creating with the universe. You're not talking to your guides. You're not, asking them for help. Again, it's kind of like, I feel like you kind of shut them out because maybe you put a little bit of blame on them. And so forgiving them, forgiving yourself, and just moving forward with the understanding that they're going to help you no matter what, I think is what's going to help. Let me see if there's anything else Jordan can do. Gosh, like all reverse cards. There's just not an equal exchange of energy going on right now between you and the universe. And you're in this pity party mode for yourself of saying, oh my gosh, never ending story. This always happens to me. Maybe that's not what you're saying, but it's kind of like, woe is me, victim mentality card is what I think of when I see this. And it's like, what are you doing to kind of pull yourself backwards to manifest this situation? I feel like this was manifested out of your own negativity, and they kind of want you to flip it on its head and say, you know what? No, I'm not going to be negative about it anymore. It is what it is. I can only move forward at this point. I hope that resonates, Jordan. Hee cat. Oh, that's interesting, Mama Odie. We manifested her. We did. Let's do Christmas exchange, Secret Elf Santa. Oh, that would be fun. Maybe. I know there is a way to do like a virtual Secret Santa. That would be kind of fun. Would enough people be interested in that? I did that for a Now Jana donates. Jana, let me know what your question is. Yeah, there's like a website where all you have to do is get invited to the group, and then it automatically finds your person for you, and then you can see their wish list on this group, and then you can basically like buy them something off their wish list, and you can even set like a certain amount, like don't spend more than this. But it's completely virtual, and it'll keep your address private, but it'll make sure it gets sent, which is kind of cool. We did that with a nonprofit that we did because it was COVID, and we normally had a Christmas party. Where's my phone going off? And that was one of the ways we were able to get our members involved from afar. So looking at my situation, resetting my intentions. Yeah, it feels like just getting rid of the negativity around it. Even if I'm like wrong on exactly what happened, it's very much like you're not co-creating with the universe, or the universe is not understanding what you want. And it's just, everything's a little bit of a mess. So just let go of the past and start fresh. Thank you, Jordan. Virtual gift exchange. Yeah, it was really cool because basically, you know, I was sorted with some random person. I didn't know who this person was, but they had a gift list up, and I was like, oh, I'll get them that. And I know how much money to spend. And then it automatically like sent it to them and delivered it. It like linked through, I don't know if it linked through Amazon or how that worked, but it's called like Elf something. I don't know. General. Okay. Anything, your guides. Get more sleep, Jana. Big time. Get more sleep. You put your phone down right now and hit your pillow is like what they're telling me. Like, I think with the stuff that's going on with your grandfather, like they're giving you full permission to like take day naps. Take a nap. It is okay to take a nap. And the other thing that's coming through is just like clear your schedule for November, December. The rest of the year, Jana, if you can just like keep it to a minimum, I think you're going to come out of it feeling more well-rested, more recuperated. Yeah, like I feel like this spread that I pulled is just like very simple. They want you to keep it very, very simple. Because their motivation for you right now is we just want to get you into this happy state. This card is happy. It's this fairy, and she's holding balloons. I feel like they're telling me to read this. Hang on, I'm going to read it. Lighten up, because this is the time to be ridiculous and silly. See the world through the eyes of a clown, and don't take yourself or any situation right now too seriously. Have fun, be playful, and make laughter the order of the day. You'll be surprised by how everything just seems to fall in place when humor leads the way. Being happy and lighthearted is a wonderful icebreaker. Life is meant for play as well as work, for laughter as well as tears, for celebration as well as focus. Spirit wants to sparkle through you today. Smile and enjoy each breath and each moment. Miracles lie in the silly things. I love that. And the biggest part that's sticking out to me is life is meant for laughter as well as tears. And I think they're just trying to say, if there's moments where things are just, there's too much tears, try to balance it out with something happy, something joyful, something fun. And really the only like advice they're giving you is to receive, like let things come to you, let things flow. The opposite of yin is yang. And I always think of yang energy as like go do a bunch of things, whereas yin is like, you know what, I'm going to let life happen. I'm not going to plan a whole lot. I'm just going to be very receptive to what's coming through. And then I pulled the thinker in reverse. And so to me, this is kind of saying, just take a step back. Like, stop overthinking things. Or it's not even that you're overthinking things. Like, to me, this is just screaming out, like, minimize that schedule. Like, have as little as possible on your schedule so that you can, which I know is kind of funny because I was talking about distractions earlier. I think the distractions are okay and should definitely be there, and they should be like the happy distractions. But I think what they want you to get rid of is like the distractions that are like time-consuming stress distractions, like work, or signing up for things that you really don't want to do. Like being a hermit this month, and honestly through the rest of the year, I feel like this is not only for Jana, but for several of you. Like, that's the order of business. Like, go inwards for the rest of the year, figure out what you want, and then, you can start off the new year kind of going more outwardly, is like the energy that I'm getting. And then I pulled serendipity in reverse. And to me, this is saying, like, you probably might struggle a little bit with, like, seeing those signs, understanding what they mean, but that's okay. Sometimes we're not always in the most receptive, perfect place. But when they do come, it's like, act on them. If you suddenly just get this intuitive hunch to just go out and start knitting, just do it. Which, by the way, I don't know if I should say this, but Jana makes some pretty cool hair bows. And I was saying, I wish I had a little girl because you make the cutest bows. I love seeing your videos on TikTok. They're so cute. Anyway, and then deep knowing. I think this is also kind of going along with the serendipity card of, like, when you do get those intuitive hits, when grandpa does start coming through, you're going to know what to do. This is like trusting your gut. And when it comes to kind of like knowing how to be happy and knowing where to cut back, it's like trusting your gut of, like, okay, what should I cut out? What's no longer working for me? What's not going to serve me? What's going to get in my way of, being happy? And like this card said, if you can prioritize fun, prioritize silly things, then it's going to be pretty easy to identify, like, what doesn't fit into that energy, if that makes sense. I feel like I let my husband down if I take time for myself. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I think, and with anybody, having similar issues, because I even said that to my husband, what was it, last night? We were talking about how just, being honest with each other. Because I was saying, like, sometimes I feel like I can't ask him for help because then I'm worried he's going to just reject the help. And I'm like, I still need to ask for it anyway. I still need to ask. And so, like, same energy, you can just say, husband, this is what I feel. And know that it's my insecurities and I'm going to try to get over it. But right now I need to prioritize me. I did that with the tarot cards. Oh, nice. It made me feel happy. Nice. See, I think that's that deep knowing. It's like you're already getting those hits. You're knowing what to do and you're just following that gut. Sometimes your intuition can be so simple. And it's like, sometimes we think it has to be these big, huge messages or this big, like, mystifying, spooky thing. But sometimes it's so natural to us that we second guess it. But it can be something like that of, like, I want to just go out and make some tarot cards. And then you just do it and you just feel happy. That can be totally intuitively guided. The name of that deck is Wisdom of the Oracle. And if you jump down into my description, I think I have a list of all the Oracle decks that I use. And I'll take you right there to a link for them. And thank you for saying that about my bows. Yes, those bows are cute. I'm hoping I have a girl next, and then I'll buy one of your bows. Okay, no more readings. I'm done. So next member night will be November 30th. Again, mark your calendars. And next live night, I think, will be November 23rd. Yes, November 23rd. And you'll have one more member-only video coming your way. And you can check that events page if you ever forget when I'm going live next. I think that's it, you guys. I will see you when Friday's video goes live. And then otherwise, I'll see you in my next live night. Good night, you guys. Thank you so much. And thank you guys so much for bringing such positive energy to these live nights. I appreciate you all so much. Alrighty. Good night, everybody. I'm going to go to bed. Good night. Let's see.